Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and I think it's been a few days now that I haven't been out here making videos, and I really I think I've gotten burnout, you know, and another interest came to my mind that is one I do on and off, and that is that of making videos using PowerPoint, okay, and I've done that off and on for 4 or 5 years, I guess, and also it combined with, there's one channel I have that I have somewhat started at least writing little stories, verbal, okay, verbally, and that is not my best suit at all. It's not my best way at all. I know it. I've been well aware of that for many years. Uh, but writing on PowerPoint is not all that easy. Plus, I've lost. I've I need some kind of what is it? The word I'm looking for. Refresher course, maybe on how to write, and especially on PowerPoint with all that. It's not that easy, and the difficulties just all around that come about doing that. But it does, to me at least, everything's a little bit more clear, and basically I want to continue telling these stories. But there's so much to my little stories involved. It's one story, or it's not really one story. It's a lot of stories, but they're all combined together. And I want to do that, see how long I can last, because I've done it over time, like I said, verbally on one channel, and it just didn't come out right. So I'm going to start all over on PowerPoint, but how long will I do that? Because, sitting there writing stuff on PowerPoint takes time, and sometimes I'll get a headache doing it, because it's like, what is it? I don't remember who said it, but I would write less if I had more time. Think about that. I would write less if I had more time. And writing something on PowerPoint, it would take that time to make it less. Yeah. Okay, I just deleted a clip. I'm being distracted by something right now. Maybe I shouldn't mention what it is, but it's not. It's behind me. Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on it. So if I sound even more distracted, that's why. I'm just not gonna say what it was. It's not very safe. I don't know. I can't. Anyway, let me move on. Yeah, today, by the way, is July 9th, and we just found out today that things that many of us already knew. In the United States, nobody is above the law. Plain and simple. Nobody is above the law. Period. Okay. Move on. I'm sure there's at least one person that I watch is going to have a fit. Yeah, about that. I am serious. What in the world is going on? It's not something I can help. I'm distracted, like I said. Anyway, let's move on from that. What's next? Okay, but anyway, like I said, I got burnout. I've experienced burnout really big time when I was working. I had finished my master's degree, was working on a PhD in counseling and developmental psychology, and I was also teaching it, not as a GA, but using my degrees, teaching both college and university. I don't think I was at both of them at the time. And also working part-time, and I got burnout big time. I had been a career student, okay, both taking undergraduate classes. I had a double major, and then as a graduate student, and I experienced a serious burnout. And I just kind of just went away from all of it, slowly. Not really, not totally, but somewhat enough that at this point in my life, it's like, I gotta go to something else, move on to something else. And I like to write. When I was a student, one of the things that the professors would say, I'm not bragging, but it leads to what I'm going to say, is they like the way I would write. I can't speak word of the I can write. Yeah, but when I got burnt out, I didn't want to do anything, that was so rigid as all those years of being a career student, teaching also. It was just so much rigidity. I just wanted to be more laid back, relax a little bit in life. Not everything you do it was very dramatic, really. Like if you weren't perfect. Some of the people who they talk about that they know better than the true scientists or they know better than the counselors because they experience BS. It's just BS. I got so, remember all the videos I did about that? I was so sick of it. That's what the problem with the world today. I sound like my mom, my late mom. But yeah, it's people think that they know better than scientists. Please. It's not easy. It's not easy having your brain tested constantly, having to do things in perfect to actually learn the subject that you're talking about. No, it's not that easy. Oh, I just experienced it, so I know all. It's BS. Really. Seriously, I think that's the trouble with what's going on now. I think it's the biggest part of it is the people who want to, these are usually conspiracy theorists who want to say that they know better than anybody. That is actually, look up narcissistic personality disorder. Look at the criteria. Yeah. Oh, I got that giggle back. But actually, I think in a way I got that back because I'm in a little bit of pain. And I don't know why. It's more of an ache on my right side of my right side in my arm. I think it's just one thing. It's sitting in one spot and typing or something, maybe. I don't know. So, yep, it's when my stream of consciousness go with the flow, not totally stream of consciousness because I have to keep cutting it off and on, but I am concerned about what's going on behind me. It's off and on, yeah. But nothing I can do about what it is because who knows? Anyway, it's not like danger kind of thing, so not report to the police kind of thing, not really. So it's just an odd kind of thing, and I get distracted because I see it in my rearview mirrors. So anyway, yeah, I got tired of that. But one of the things that that had come up in a conversation today about the problem, so much of the problem that we see. How each side, like as if there's only two, there's not just two. I'm an independent, so I can say what I want to. I don't need anybody to tell me how to think. I'm an independent. And just seeing this whole thing of this side says they won and this side said they won, it's like really. But the conversation eventually led to that, what I just mentioned, and the people who, leave the science to the scientists, leave the facts to those who are the professionals, who are the scientists, and all that. This is the way I see it. And the other people, sure, you think about what's going on and you have your opinions, but to go as far as to be that narcissistic behavior that you know better than them, but really, drop it. Oh my goodness, they know better. And the people that I have known personally who do that do not know anything. They are filled with all of this. Everything that comes from them is so much misinformation. And it's the true hoax and and then they try to hype it. It's not the Democrats, as they love to say. It's all the Democrats' fault. Have you ever realized how much power, like I think I've said in another video, how much power they're giving to the Democrats to say that the Democrats can be the cause of all these things? Oh my goodness. It's just a mantra to them. It's just the fallback. Everything is going to be the Democrats' fault. The Democrats are doing it. Democrats, like I said, I'm an independent, but I'm sick of hearing that. The same old, every time. What have I said about broken records? All those videos. Really, it's just the same thing. And you hear one, you know what all of them are saying. I know one, and I know what all of them are saying. That's the copycat, big time. Kind of makes me wonder about, yeah, more than that, as I've said before. You know what they're all saying because they all say the same things. There's nothing new. It's not as though they're really that well thought out. These are the people who actually do it. I'm not saying all of them do it. You know, I'm not one of those. But the ones who actually do this, it's like I said, it's not like they're using their own brain. It's like they have one collective brain and they just follow whatever that one collective brain has said and whatever they were told to think. Seriously. And yeah, and they just all say like as if that makes them so knowledgeable and that they know more than the scientist because they've heard what they've heard. They haven't thought it through. You know, I mean, seriously, of course, if you're going to do more testing, you're going to find more cases. But they seem to think that if you don't test, then you don't have the cases. Huh? Oh my goodness. It just gets to me and it's more than one person I've heard. Because like I said, the whole mantra mentality, the whole, one brain. And, okay, do you really think that if it doesn't show up on a test that they don't exist? They just haven't been tested. They exist. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get how people can just stop right there and then not go, huh? Really, and say, well, wait a minute. I don't get, well, I do get it, but I'm going to say it as though I don't get it. Okay, let me move on a little bit. I live in Texas, north of Dallas. And yeah, Dallas isn't the only big city. It's metropolitan area has a lot of cases and it keeps rising. Like I said, today's July 9th, 2020. And it just keeps rising. Now, I actually liked Governor Abbott. From what I understand, he is a Republican. But I guess somebody was trying to be sarcastic on a group and said our Democratic governor. It's like, I always thought he was Republican. Like I said, I'm independent. I'm not Democrat, and I'm certainly not a Republican. Some would say. I used to say it that way. Certainly not a Republican. Anyway. But at first, when all this came out, he basically put us on lockdown. That form of lockdown, to me, like I've said before, lockdown to me means you don't go anywhere. You're stuck at home. You're inside. You're not going anywhere. That would be lockdown to me. But I think they call it stay home, stay safe order. And I thought it was good. That was a progressive kind of movement that was like, well, we're going to get on top of this. And we did. Then they started opening up all the pressure. People, if you're going to run for office, you can't deal with that much pressure whenever lives are at stake. And I know this is this is it's a novel virus. Never been through this. We've never been through this pandemic before. And well aware of that. And people are going to make mistakes, okay? Well, they made a mistake that he rolled back. And that's great. Could have rolled back a little bit earlier, but yeah. And so many lives at stake. And, other places need to get with the program, seriously. And they need to roll back more. We need to go back on the stay home safe, totally. And I'm glad that it's mandated 4 days ago. Yeah. No, let's see, what day was it? 6 days ago. We have to wear face covering if we're in public. Yeah, that was great. Because this is not a left or right thing. This, and I know some of you have heard this. It's not. Stop making this political. These are lives. I've said that all along. People who go ranting and raving saying, it's their rights. It's their rights. They're trying to take over their rights. Well, you're trying, and I know you've heard this. You're trying to take over somebody else's life. There's a right to life that comes before anything. Right to life. Okay, but it's the biggest one, the biggest right to life. And you want to take it from somebody because you want to go, what, to a beach, or you want to go to a bar and get drunk and hang out and get your little droplets all over the place. Seriously, I just, sometimes it's just like, oh my goodness. You can't see me, but I'm sitting here shaking my head, rolling my eyes. You know, the way some people think. You know, it's all about them. That, to me, is someone who doesn't care about somebody's life, and it's all about them and all that. I see that as kind of psychopathic behavior, sociopathic behavior. Yeah. And I'm not diagnosing anybody. It's not diagnosed, but the behavior, to actually think that you wanting to go out and do something, you know, like go to a beach or go to a bar, is more important than somebody else's life. I've said that in so many videos. I cannot imagine myself thinking that way. And then I've mentioned this before, you see these filthy people that that totally lack, you know, apparently proper hygiene. They're going around making videos in stores and they're wiping their hands on products. Oh, filth being filthier. That's how I see it. Yeah, I came out here to rant a little bit. Sure did. I'm going with my own flow, seriously. Like I said, I do see myself starting. I do see it. I don't know how long it will last. I think maybe for the rest of the time I do YouTube videos, where I'm going to move more to, if not completely, to writing on PowerPoint, whatever, and just developing stories, which of course, I did not know this, but yeah, YouTube, from what I understand, YouTube videos are copyrighted to the, I think it went something like copyrighted to the person who created and uploaded the video. So like if you write a story, it's copyrighted, okay, to the person who created and uploaded the video. So I don't know if anybody else, I haven't read anybody else that tells a story with PowerPoint, but after I had started doing PowerPoint, there was one or two women that their channels popped up that they were doing it on one certain topic though, and using PowerPoint. Yeah, PowerPoint is something I certainly have used before, and so I see myself turning to that. I really, YouTube used to be about, to me, and it could still be that, but I just don't see it anymore. But when I first started 6 years ago, next month, 6 years ago, on my original channel, it was about community. It was about people, to me. It was not about money. And man, there was such a resistance when so many things started changing about money, like people doing, trying to sell products online. You know, like people within these different communities, often there were different genres, but not always. They sometimes blended. But when people started to sell stuff, you know, just outright sell it there, people would, you know, put the money in their PayPal or just send them a check, whatever it was. And then it got so much about PayPal, and then it got to be so much about Patreon, and on, you know, those super chats and all this, now memberships, and wow, you know, I started to see this, of course, early on, started to see this trend toward less community, more, you know, just about making money. I think it's a pendulum that needs to level. I mean, it swung way too far to the other side, and needs to level out. And because I mean, if a person's channel is all about them selling something, I'm not watching YouTube to watch ads on top of how you put it, commercials on top of ads, or ads on top of commercials. That's what it all would be. You watch somebody's video, and they always have, you know, those ad pop-ups, and, you know, to make money, and then their whole video is about making more money, Sure, they might make a good video, but it's all about, the focus, you can tell, is so much about making money. That's just, greed is a problem. Yeah, all of that. I'm not saying all of them, but, just the ones I've seen lately. Yeah. It just takes away from it to me. But that's my opinion. So many people go around, right to express ourselves, like freedom of speech and rights and all this stuff. Well, so if you have it, so do I then. I doubt I'll even put this video up, but it might be different if I did. Yeah. At least I'm not calling anybody a POS. Remember that one? I have not gone back and listened to that video, but that was when I think I had COVID-19. Yeah, I think that's when I had it and was not aware, because it wasn't all that well known way back in February. I just let her rip in that one. Like I said, there was another one right behind after it, and I did not make it public. But I was calling two people POSs, and I wasn't just saying POSs. And rightfully so, in my opinion. Yep. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, it's 93 degrees, and it's according to my SUV, and I have the air conditioner on all this time, and even before it. And it's 7:48 p.m. Someday this week, or in the next few days, we're supposed to be 105, which would mean more like 110. That feels like probably more like around 115, but this is Texas. We're used to it. You know how you see some people where they live, where there's a lot of snow, like blizzards, and somebody goes outside, it's like, you gotta hope that they don't fall down, or they find their way back home. Well, in Texas, it's more like when it's over 100, after a few days, really, of temperatures consistently being over 100, it's like, you want to make sure that person doesn't go out and fall down and fry, like eggs on concrete in the middle of the heat. I remember when we had that time when it was, if we would have had one more day of temperatures over 100 or over, we would have broken a record. It was like something like we were at 70 days or something like that. And man, it was like walking into a furnace. Like I said, if anybody knows what walking into a furnace would be like. But yeah, it was extremely hard, difficult to even want to walk out the door to go check the mail, or do anything because it was so hot. This summer so far has been really nice so far. Although we're in the dog days of summer, it's been nice. So, knock on wood. Anyway, I just thought I'd get all that out. I don't know if I'll make this public or not. It feels good to do it. Just like I said, I'm experiencing burnout, and here comes the dogs outside to walk around with Adam. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Talk to you on another video.